What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Cyhadow, where we talk all things anime, comics, and everything in between. And we talking John Wick 5. Now, I'm going to go over two things. My predictions of the movie and me and my friends' conversation about the predictions for John Wick 5. Since John Wick 5 is in productions, I'm just going to say this now. If you haven't seen any John Wick movies, I'm sorry, spoilers, but I'm going to be telling you a lot of things that's going to basically make a little bit of sense, but not. So when it really comes down to it, I want to kind of go over the basics of what John Wick is when it comes to like his movies. John Wick movies, we basically learn his past, what he was before and what he is now. I would just say this. John Wick 1 is kind of like, that introductory movie saying, hey, John's this assassin that is known worldwide, and you fucked up.
I killed his fucking dog.
John Wick 2 was kind of more on the lines of like, hey, this is the things that John Wick did in order for him to have the life that he wanted before the events of John Wick 1. John Wick 3 was more on the lines of, the history of the table and, the people that organized it, all this other shit. And John Wick 4 was just more on the lines of like, hey,
lots of guns.
Let's kill a bunch of fuckers. Now, when it comes down to it, each movie showed more and more about John Wick's past. John Wick was basically about him getting back, showing us what he was before he retired. John Wick 2 is basically somewhat how he got out of retirement. And then John Wick 3 was just John causing mayhem. And then John Wick 4 was basically John like, I don't give a fuck, I just want my freedom. Now, when it really comes down to it, the predictions that me and my friend came up with was that we were going to finally get the full story of John Wick. But since John's not dead because we didn't see a body, and in all cinema from Hollywood, there's no body, there's no real death. So John's going to tell, we decided that John's going to tell his story about how he became Baba Yaga before John Wick 1, or somebody's going to tell the story of John Wick before John Wick 1 started. That's basically what we came up with. My theory on how, or prediction, or whatever it is, on what John Wick 5 is going to be based off of, is going to be based off of what I said before. We are going to get the full story of John Wick. And when I say full story, I mean literal full story. Like, if we look at it, in John Wick, what was it? 4, we learned that John was an orphan and that he got picked up, I wouldn't say by his Russian mafia, but basically it kind of was a Russian mafia that ended up taught him, a couple of things here and there, like ballet, swiftness, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, how to murder motherfuckers, until where he became who he is now. Now, granted, let me actually explain a little bit more. At the end of John Wick 4, basically what happened was that Stick's daughter ended up saw his father die, and it was by one of John's friends who was the owner of the Continental in Tokyo or Japan. It's somewhere in Japan. I'm sorry if I fucked it up, but like, it's been a minute since I've seen that movie. John Wick's friend's daughter killed Sticks in front of Stick's daughter. So I'm predicting that Stick's daughter is gonna want revenge for this shit, because hate begates hate. So mainly what we are going to look at is that she is going to look for somebody to train her. Well, the only person that can train her is John. She's gonna somehow find John. We're gonna get the whole like Anakin Skywalker, Rey meeting Anakin Skywalker moment, in Star Wars. And then we're gonna have it to where John trains her. But in the process of training her, we get flashbacks of John's life from when he was born to before the events of John Wick 1 starts, where he ended up got adopted, got joined into this Russian mafia, kills a bunch of people, becomes the Baba Yaga, becomes a part of the table, and not only that, but finds his wife and pulls some James Bond shit. Like, I'm gonna be for real with you. I'm pretty sure that nigga was fucking her on a mission. I'm pretty sure he met the bitch in Paris. That's all the fuck. Hey, I'm just saying. That's just me though. I personally believe that in the entirety of him training her, we finding out more about John Wick's life by basically him telling his story to this girl, and also having flashbacks at the same time. And when I say flashbacks, I mean, if anybody's seen Arrow, the TV series, how like they would have whatever event that's happening in the middle of in the episode, whatever event has relevancy to it, it always goes flashbacks to Oliver's life when he was on the Uncharted Island of I can't remember the name of the island, but it was Mandarin for purgatory. You know, it would also play into like other different situations. Sometimes it would flash into the future, it would flash to the past, it would be whatever. But basically the whole movie is us in the present, John's training Stick's daughter to kill John's other friend's daughter, where at the same time John is also telling this girl his entire life, how he met Sticks, how he met his friend that was the owner of the Continental and to Japan. Just too much shit that really goes on to where we finally understand what exactly happens and we know everything about John Wick's life. That's just what I think is gonna happen. Now, it'd be really cool if we get to actually see young John Wick train and fight and literally murder a bunch of people, because literally it's John Wick. So what is a John Wick movie without John Wick murdering people? So therefore, that's what I think is gonna happen. But that's just me. That's what I think. And yeah, that's really it for what this video is going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like these kind of like movie predictions and stuff like that, let me know what movie's coming out next, and I'll let y'all know on whatever predictions I think the movie's going to be, and I'll let y'all know. But in the meantime, I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.